Well, when you feel uncertain about what is the right one, it means that you haven't done the vibrational work. It means that you're not habitually, not yet, a really good match to what's in your vortex. Because if you were, it'd be really clear to you. The path would be really obvious. That's what we meant earlier when we said sometimes you have to sort of take our word for it in the beginning, but as you do the work a little bit, then you become very clear. Clarity is the most delicious, wonderful result of alignment. So what keeps you from that, you already demonstrated a little bit about, I don't have enough money, I don't have da-da. So you have to become a better vibrational match to what's in your vortex, or to why you want what you want. Because when you think about it, this is a really good conversation in light of what we were just talking about, because it feels to you, to most people in this situation, where you really need to get all the details that you can about all of these possibilities so that you can really evaluate them carefully. But what happens as you start doing that is you shoot yourself in the foot, because there are so many things about those conditions that may trigger things in you that keep you from being a vibrational match to what's really there. You see, the flawed premise that you have, most people have it under these conditions, is that out there somewhere is the perfect job that I must find. And we want you instead to understand that in your future is the perfect job that you are creating. You are creating, you are molding it into place. It's not out there and you've got to sift and sort and sift and sort and sift and sort and sift and sort and find it. The potential for it is present in many different places, but the potential for the perfect job cannot reveal itself to someone who's not a vibrational match to the perfect job. And hardly anybody is a vibrational match to the perfect job when they're standing in the position that you're standing in. Can you feel how conditional that all is? So we have to get out of the conditional weeds out here on the peripheral of what we're talking about, and get back to the center of who you are, back to the emotional center. But there's another thing in your vortex that you've been putting there over a period of time, and that is, it's about self-empowerment. It's about freedom. It's about getting to follow your own path. It's about the universe responding to you. It's about not having to dovetail with others that you're not interested in dovetailing with. It's about not making sacrifices. It's about not having to make concessions to others. We hitting any bells on any of that? So there's a lot in your vortex that you just don't yet believe is possible for you, because the conditions of the job market and the conditions of where you've been have made it not particularly easy for you to think about what you want without challenging it with reality. Isn't that pretty much? And so what we want to show you how to align with what you want without challenging reality. How to align with what you want without placing conditions on it that trip you up. So we want you to understand that the choices that you are upon right now aren't about whether it's that or that or that or that or that or that or that, which all seem like not good choices to you. Either not good choices or not possible choices to you. You can't do that. Hello. I'm not qualified for this job. But I've chosen it. And I'd like to start immediately because I haven't got any money. How's that working out? So those aren't viable choices. That's really what we're saying. Those aren't viable choices. So those choices trip you up. There's too many conditions. You see, the reason that you want to be someone who lives unconditional love is because you want to live love. And when you live conditional love, it keeps you from love. Did you hear that? The conditions that you're placing out there on that employment are keeping you from the feeling that will allow you to have it. So the reason that we want you to live unconditional love is because it's the way to alignment. Let's call it unconditional love, unconditional alignment, unconditional clarity, unconditional being who I am, unconditional no wobble in my vibration. So let us demonstrate something here for you. You'll like this. So you heard about law of attraction, and you heard us talking about momentum. So let's say you start with a thought, you wake up in the morning, it's an easy thought, and you're not challenging it with any reality. And because you're not challenging it with anything, then law of attraction gives you just more like it, more momentum, more momentum, more momentum. So this thought that is not being challenged by reality or by doubts or by beliefs that contradict it, law of attraction is just taking it stronger and stronger and stronger. It's a thought of very powerful clarity and also very powerful point of attraction. When you are thinking like that, whatever you're thinking about comes into fruition in a very short order of time. And if you've been doing it, you know what we're talking about. Or if you know somebody who is doing it, and you know what we're talking about. In other words, you think the thought, you don't contradict it. You think the thought, you don't contradict it. Law of attraction brings you more thoughts like it. Each thought is a sort of manifestation of piled up on the next and the next and the next, until you've got such a current going that there's no wobble in your vibration whatsoever. Pure, positive energy, clarity, powerful, poignant, fast, dynamic, feels good while it's happening. Every step along that path feels good to you. But let's say you're thinking a thought and then you think or, and then you think a thought and you think but, and then you think that thought and you think nah, and then you think that thought and then you think yeah. So now you've got this little wobble going on. Well, law of attraction is responding to whatever you're thinking about. So this thought that you're thinking, law of attraction is responding to, and it's getting bigger. But this thought that you're thinking, law of attraction is responding to, and it's getting bigger too. So the crevasse between what I want and what I believe, and what I want and what I believe, and what I want and what I believe is getting bigger and bigger, and the wobble's getting bigger and bigger too. You just can't get there from there. So what happens with most people who are then attempting to sort of soothe or smooth out the wobble is you want to talk about the conditions. You try to talk yourself into things. But in doing so, you just keep the vibration going stronger and stronger about what is. So what we're wanting to introduce to you, and some of you are hearing it, it's a bit awkward to talk about the intangible, but you can get this. If you will just play with it a little bit, life will show you exactly what we mean. As you care about the way you feel, you will begin to realize that as you try to sort out these conditions, for example, I have these skills in this field, but this field is saturated with a lot of talented people already, and so getting an audience to understand what I can bring to the table is not an easy thing. So that's a belief system, and it's a condition that, as long as it's active in your vibration, is not letting you have what you want. It is causing split energy about what you want. So then you say, well, I'm going to talk myself out of that. So I'm going to focus on those conditions, and I'm going to talk myself into a better place. So then you say, well, the industry is getting broader, and there are new jobs all the time. It's like you're trying too hard. You can feel yourself trying to make it work out for you, but you're really just getting more aggravated even in the conversation about it. And then you think, well, I just need to buck up. I'll get a really good resume together. I'll gather all the statistics about who I am, and I'll get them out there where somebody can hear them and see them. And then you think, but I've been doing that, and that hasn't been working out very well, and my resume is just going to end up on a pile of other resumes with somebody else. And so what we're getting at here is, when you are trying to fix it out here in the conditions, usually you don't make it better, you make it worse. And you can tell you're making it worse because you're feeling effort, you're trying harder, you're working harder, you're having more printed, you're making more phone calls, you're feeling more frustrated, you're feeling more defeated. So what we want you to hear from us is that you don't have to fix it by solving those conditions. Those conditions will evaporate by lack of airtime, by lack of attention. You can replace that vibration easily if you will do it unconditionally. So that means you just ask yourself some questions that are not based upon the conditions. Mm-hmm. These questions are based upon the conditions. How many jobs are available for the kind of talent you have? Mm-hmm. That's based upon condition. How many people are hiring? That's based upon condition. Mm-hmm. How much venture capital money is there? That's based upon a condition. These questions are based on no condition. Mm-hmm. Would you rather feel free or bound? Clarity or confusion?
Clarity.
We know these are stupid questions. But feel how unconditional they are. Mm-hmm. Would you rather feel happy or sad?
Happy.
Would you rather feel engaged or bored? Would you rather feel momentum or stagnation?
Yeah.
Would you rather feel energized or lethargic? Would you rather feel eager or discouraged? Would you rather feel energized or innervated? We know these are really simple questions that seem to have no relationship to the conditions that you need to solve. But these are unconditional questions. You don't need to fix any condition. You might know exactly what job you want to go after, and you might not exactly know the right way to go about it, and you might not know what hoops to jump through or where to be when, but you do know the answers to these questions. And as you ask yourself these questions until you shore up your awareness of how you want to feel. So let's just play with this for just a little bit. You like clarity or confusion? Clarity. So just focus on clarity for a minute. Feel clarity. Just think about what clarity means. You don't even have to think about a situation where you felt greater clarity. Just asking yourself, would you rather be too hot or comfortable? Would you rather be all balled up and tense, or would you rather be relaxed? You see what we're getting at? As you ask these unconditionally motivated questions, but you do focus. It's like a form of meditation. You focus yourself into the vibration of your source. Now that you've focused yourself into the vibration of your source, now everything in your life is adjusting. You can't see it yet because it's early on, but everything is adjusting to this newfound frequency, because, hear this, for the first time in a long time, you offered a frequency unconditionally. The conditions, we love you so much, screw up your frequency because you know too much. There's too many pieces. You've applied for too many jobs. You're too aware of the job market. You know too much that's going on. You know so much, you've got yourself in a wad of vibration that is preventing you from a path that is easy to follow. The reason that you're lost on the path, you're right, it will eventually boil down to that. But the reason that you're lost is because you haven't given the path a chance to light up in a really discernible way. And when you do this unconditional stuff, the path lights up. You have an impulse to do something, and nothing could stop you from doing it because you feel it so strong, you see. Aren't you sometimes having that experience? Esther's been just amazingly exhilarated at the way the path lights up. She said the other day, not only do I love it when there's a piece of the path, oh, damn, there's a piece of the path. There's a piece of the path and I'm stepping on it because it's exhilarating. Not because it's going to lead me to some place that I want to go later, but because right now it feels really good right here and right now. And then she's also aware that she'll step on the path and then she's ready to go again, feeling a little impatient. Where's the next piece? Where's the next piece? Where's the next piece? And then that piece sort of peters out because you can't be impatient. The path sort of peters out. You see, here's the thing. You're going to like this. And whether you do or not, we do. You're not looking for the path. You're creating an atmosphere so that the path can come to you. You're creating the atmosphere so that the path shows itself to you. And if it doesn't feel like it's showing itself to you, it's for one reason and one reason only. You're out there in the conditions, you're out there in the weeds, you got your vibration all balled up, and even though the source within you is lighting up all kinds of things, you've got so much contradiction going in your vibration because of all the conditions that you're trying to examine and control, where a little conversation like the one we just had will resolve all of that vibrational contradiction within you, and then a piece of the path will be right there. You'll say, oh, that was way too easy, that can't be right. Can't be right. That should have been way harder than that. Because I've spent 10 years evaluating conditions and 3 minutes just finding this emotional stupid game that Abraham's playing that can't really be a piece of my path. But once you follow it a little bit, you'll find that it is, and it'll lead, and it'll lead, and it'll lead, and it'll lead, and then you discover that the whole point of all of it is the path, the path, the path. You're not going anywhere. You're not ever going to get it done. You're not ever going to get it done. You're eternal. So it's only about the path. So when you say, I can't find the path, I can't find clarity, we say, that's big. That's a big deal. That's like saying, I'm lost in my beingness. We say, you don't have to be lost. Just chill out a little bit and let the path light up and enjoy it when you step on it.
Okay.
Helpful?
Yeah.
Good.